Alright, let's go ahead and get this started here. Alright, turn the volume down first. Okay, so we'll start the video right here as a test for the narration. One thing I'm going to run into is that this is a very laggy game, so I'm going to have to lower the video quality maybe on the next one. We'll run a few different tests to see if I can reduce this lag, because it's absolutely killing me on when I'm playing and trying to record at the same time. All I'm going to be doing during this video basically is just chopping these couple trees down, gathering some leaves up here in a little bit. But this is just a pure test video to kind of get some things going. But since I'm basically just doing an audio test, getting the background music test going here as well, and kind of doing a few other tests all at the same time, I guess during this time I can kind of explain a little bit about myself here. I am a transgender, one of the 67 genders, at least one of the known 67 genders. I am a dragonkin, which means I'm dragon. Yep, that's about right. Alright, none of that's true. Anyway, lost my train of thought here. I guess I can talk about the map here. What we're doing is part of the reason this falls also lagging, I think, is the fact that I'm in a realm. So, and it's since I'm connecting to the internet while I'm doing that, we're screen recording at the same time, all on my laptop, and so maybe my laptop just can't handle it quite well, which is why I have to hopefully just reduce the video quality, and that'll maybe help out just enough. So I think that's where my issues are kind of coming from, is basically it's just doing a little too much for it. So I'll make sure all of the background files on my computer basically shut off during this process. So one of the things I do want to do in this area here where we're at, this Guardian Farm from the last video, is build out some towers, a couple towers maybe here, in a couple different corners of these walls. And then instead of having a straight wall, I have an idea of kind of curving the wall just a little bit, making it not as straight, to kind of take away this cube feel that this place has. So I'm going to be doing some test builds just to kind of get a good idea of how I want to do that. But I don't want the straight wall on the sand wall, and I don't want it to be sand either, so I'm going to make up some other designs for it, and I might make certain areas a little bit bigger. For example, behind this another portal house here off to my left, that one right there, I'm going to be making a tower kind of off in the corner behind it, but I want to expand out a little bit, so I'm going to have to do some more draining as well. Which, after draining this place here, is my first time doing a Guardian Farm and draining it. I didn't enjoy it at all. I really didn't enjoy the draining process. It was just really boring. It was lengthy. I'm sure if anyone who's ever done it can kind of relate to that. But that's basically my plan for the moment here, is just kind of run through, expand the area out a little bit so I can add some things. And basically I just want to do kind of one structure at a time. I'm not going to do an entire massive project that's going to be overbearing all at the same time. But anyway, that should do it here. One thing I will say about this Guardian Farm, so if anyone who does happen to watch this video, maybe he's done their own Guardian Farm, who's used this design, because I like this design. I like the drain, and then I like to build a structure. I enjoyed building the structure and draining. Like I said, I didn't enjoy as much, but putting in the time in and putting the effort in, and then this place just doesn't produce the way I like. These things escape, which I haven't figured out a way to kind of keep them from escaping. So there's a few issues I'm having with it. And like I said, it just doesn't produce. Now, one of the things I did do is there were some caves below this structure. I went on ahead and took all of those out by filling them completely, either with some filler material, whether it be sand, dirt, or stone, or whatever I had basically at the time. I filled up all the caves that were below this. So that was one thing I did do to try to help out the spawn rate. Now, the spawn rate doesn't seem to be the issue, actually. What my issue really seems to be is the fact that they don't want to go down to the very bottom. I have lava down there to kind of help kill them off a little bit, but they get stuck right there and just burn and die, and then whatever they drop, it's gone. So it's kind of a burden for me to figure out how to set that up and where to go with it next. I tried a few different things. I put ice in there to help them kind of flow to the edge a little bit better maybe, but none of it really seemed to kind of work out at the moment. So But that's one thing I'm having trouble with the Guardian farm. So if anyone who does watch this video and maybe give a little tip about or an idea of something to try. So like I said, I'm just gathering some leaves here in this video and some wood, chopping these trees down. I want to make some custom trees in this area. I want to put a nice texture on the ground here as well. I don't want it to be a nice even surface, you know. I want it to be kind of unlevel. And the building style that you see over there with that portal house is going to be kind of the building style of the area. I'm kind of going for a fantasy type style, so which is not something I'm very good at. I'm not really good at that style. I'm more good with like the medieval structures, kind of your basic Minecraft vanilla. So I'm typically good at, or better at that stuff. I want to say I'm good, but I'm better at it. So building in this fantasy style, I'm not the best at it. But if you guys have any ideas that make anything better, I'm all ears. You can always give me a tip or help out, and I'd love to hear it in the comments section, of course. These first videos I'm going to be making are going to be a lot of testing. There's going to be a lot of it, so I might end up going back and deleting these. This is just basically for me to kind of get a basic setup for my for a channel here. I'm going to not do a lot of videos on, at least I'm not planning to. I do have a full-time job, you know, and I also have 3 kids, so there's a lot of effort to put into it, making a lot of content, and I'm probably just not going to do that. So I'll try to focus, for example, any video I have be related to this area. So if I'm building in a different area, you might not see that one. I will try to do a world tour here pretty soon, so you guys can get a general idea of what all is in this world. So I'm not, since this is a realm, I'm not the only player. We have a few others, and one of them actually being my wife, who's done some pretty cool builds herself. We also have the real King Carrot. He's the real one, guys. I'm not joking. He's not the fake one. He's the real one, and he's done some pretty good builds here. I like a lot of his builds. The next one that joined, I think, after him was Arctic Skeletal. Let me say his name. I can't remember the last part of it. He also refers to himself as Uncle. And he hasn't done a lot of builds. He has a shop, and he has